Hello, everyone. What is up? It is me once again, and it is Monday afternoon, March 28th, 2022, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon right now. And basically, as you can see by the title of this video, you will definitely know what this video is going to be about. I'm pretty sure everyone knows about this. There's not one person I know who doesn't know about this. But just in case you're living under a rock and, you haven't watched the Oscars last night or you haven't been on social media to know about this, I will explain to you what happened, but before I do, this is like, the 15th take of me trying to do this video, because in the first 15 takes I couldn't really talk that well. I had a hard time speaking, whenever I would say the words, when they would first come out of my mouth, they wouldn't come out the correct way. Like, when I would say the actors and celebrities' names, they wouldn't come out the way that they were supposed to come out. They kept on mumbling out throughout the whole video. And so I had to delete all 15 of those other takes I did, in which I hope, and which, who knows, I might have trouble speaking in this one too, which I hope not. I hope I can talk better in this one and not have, a lot of speaking errors like in the first 15 takes. I don't want to do another take. I want this to be the last take I do, since I'm ready to get this video done and over with and just upload it to YouTube and be done with it. Yeah. Basically, this happened on the Oscars last night. I first heard about this from my mom when she was watching the Oscars last night to see if a movie that all of us consider to be the best movie of the year would win Best Picture, in which, most of the time, a lot of movies that a lot of people consider to be the best movie of the year don't win Best Picture. They're always lower on the list. And, a movie that we don't care about is always higher and wins Best Picture when we, thought that, the movie that most people who have seen the movie consider the movie to be the best movie of the year would win Best Picture. But a movie that a lot of people don't like would win a Golden Razzie Award for Worst Picture. But whatever, it is what it is. That's also kind of the reason why, I don't watch the Oscars nowadays. Same with my dad. He stopped caring about the Oscars years ago, like back in 1997, when, Jerry Maguire didn't really win Best Picture, when a lot of people considered it to be the best movie in 1996 from my knowledge. Yeah. In which, about this incident, I am so sick and tired of hearing about it. This incident, it's getting talked about way too fucking much, to where it's getting old now, and it's about time people drop the subject about it and move on to something else. I can't ever go on Facebook and see normal statuses, like statuses about, like on this day in whatever year this movie came out in theaters. Happy whatever year anniversary to it. All I have to see is, people asking questions if Will Smith should have lost his award for what he did at the Oscars last night. Yeah, basically what this shit makes me want to do is it just makes me want to log off of Facebook for a while and not go back on there anytime soon. But, this is something, that just randomly popped in my head earlier today when I was, at Dave & Buster's with my friend. Since, I got a day off of work today due to, my boss not really feeling well. And so we went to Dave & Buster's just to do a little something instead of being stuck in the house all day with nothing to do while we were, having dinner or whatever. Not dinner, I meant lunch. I've been thinking, I think I should do a video about this incident. And so I will do a video about this incident right now. So yeah. Basically, you all know what happened. On the Oscars last night, Will Smith just bitch slapped Chris Rock in the face. It basically all started when, basically Chris Rock was the host for the Oscars this year, and he was up on stage telling jokes like what most comedians do. And basically, at first, the audience, along with Will Smith, they were laughing at the joke. But, once Chris Rock cracked a joke about Will Smith's wife,
Jada Pinkett Smith,
and which, to me, it was actually kind of a funny joke, It's possibly a joke that I could laugh my ass off at all day long and never stop laughing. Yeah. And plus, I don't even think, Chris Rock actually knew about Jada
Pinkett Smith's.
I met Jada
Pinkett Smith's.
Condition. As we all know, Jada
Pinkett Smith.
She has a mental condition where she's losing her hair and going bald. And Chris Rock, probably thought, she's had it the whole time. And so he thought it would be fine to just crack a joke like that. And, Jada
Pinkett Smith.
She wasn't really laughing at the joke. She was quiet throughout the whole thing. I don't think she actually liked the joke. She probably hated it, but, she just ignored it and didn't pay attention to it. And didn't, make a big deal out of it like Will Smith did, Will Smith, all of a sudden, once, Chris Rock told that joke, Will Smith got pissed off when it was just a joke, really. it was nothing to get pissed off about. You know, honestly, Will Smith needs to learn how to take a joke. You know, he should have just went with the flow and laughed like everyone else was. You know, really, Chris Rock is a comedian. He grew up as a comedian and can't fucking speak. He grew up as a comedian and he has always, you know, made fun of people for a living. You know, there has even been some other actors who he has made fun of before he made fun of, not made fun of, but told that joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, in which I forgot their names, but I do remember hearing that they were laughing at the joke and they didn't go up on stage and smack him in the face for that. Seriously, Will. I understand if you didn't find it funny, that's fine, but that's no reason to go up on stage and smack him in the face for that or get all worked up all over it. You could have just sat there and ignored it and didn't pay attention to it. Seriously. It's not something that is meant to be taken seriously. It's just a joke that was made to make people laugh like any other type of joke that comedians will normally tell, all right, man? Jeez. But Will Smith, what he did was he got up out of his seat. He walked up stage. He walked up to Chris Rock and slapped Chris Rock in the face. And he went back down to go sit back in his seat. And basically after that, Chris Rock said, "Oh, wow, Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me." And once Will Smith sat back down, he yelled, "Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth." He didn't only say that once, he actually said it twice. "Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth." And basically, Chris Rock responded to Will Smith saying that he will. You know, really. And after the whole incident, you know, Will Smith actually won his award for Best Actor for that one movie that came out last year called, you know, King Richard, in which I have seen that movie when it first came out. And that movie was okay, not the best performance he did. I thought he did, you know, better performances than that. Like, you know, in Independence Day, the Bad Boys movies, mostly the first one and the third one. The second one was okay, but not great, though. And also The Pursuit of Happiness. So honestly, I think he should have won an Oscar for those, but instead he won an Oscar for King Richard, which it's whatever. I don't really care. But you know, honestly, to me, Will Smith, he fucking tarnished it. He ruined it. You know, he worked really hard to be as good as he can in his movies for years to win his Oscar. You know, that's what a lot of actors or celebrities dream of one day, to win an Oscar for Best Actor or whatever in a movie. And they work really hard to try to be, you know, as good as they can to receive an award. And Will Smith, I don't think he's ever won an Oscar before until now. But the thing is If that's the case, if this is the first Oscar he has ever won, he just fucking ruined it. Because, people, they're not going to be talking about Will Smith receiving his Oscar now. They're mostly going to be talking about him bitch slapping Chris Rock. Like, they're going to be asking him on why he bitch slapped Chris Rock, and they're also going to be telling stories about the time Will Smith bitch slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars. And after Will Smith, won his Oscar and basically made a speech on how hard he worked to earn it, basically he apologized to the entire audience, like all the people who were there to, see Will Smith, bitch slap Chris Rock in front of all of them, making, Will Smith the bad guy and Chris Rock the good guy somewhat. Same with all the people who were at home watching it. I don't even think, after he did that, he probably didn't even apologize to Chris Rock. Maybe he did, I don't know, but if he actually did, it was probably just a slap on the wrist apology and not an actual one when, he should have, actually apologized to Chris Rock. With an actual, apology and not a fake one where it means he doesn't actually mean it and he's not going to keep his promise to be sorry and is going to continue doing shit like that. So he should actually mean it to never do something like, fucking speak! To never, do something like that again. In front of a lot of people. Yeah. Will Smith, he completely ruined that moment for him, This was such a special moment for him to finally win something that he has been wanting to win for so long and never got the chance to win until now. But he had to do that to, make people not focus on Will Smith, receiving his award and mostly making people, focus on the incident where he bitch slapped Chris Rock in the face. And less, about him receiving his award, seriously. It must have been, really entertaining for all the people who, attended to go to, the Oscars, since they saw something that they thought they would never see, that you never really see on the Oscars, except for people winning awards and explaining how hard they worked to receive their award for Best Actor in a certain movie that they did, where, a certain actor will get offended by a certain joke that a comedian who's the host of it is telling, and them getting up out of their seat, going up on stage and bitch slapping them all over it. That's not something that really happens. It rarely ever happens. It never really happened on the Oscars before. It was mostly positive with no violence until, that incident happened. Yeah, and plus, Will Smith, he's always going to be remembered for doing this shit. People are never going to forget about it. And, still have respect for him and talk more about him receiving his award for the first time in forever, on how long he's been waiting to get an Oscar. Yeah. You know, when an actor does something this crazy, like starting violence with someone at the Oscars where everyone is watching them on live television, including the entire audience there, all over something stupid like that, you know, they're never going to forget about it like they can with any other memories that aren't too insane and are just, you know, normal, lame memories. But crazy memories like this, they're definitely always going to remember this, even 10 or 11 years from now. They're never going to have it be erased from their memory, you know? Seriously. This shit would be so embarrassing, and I don't even get, you know, how Will Smith isn't even embarrassed by what he did. You know, he made himself look like a fool in front of everyone there and all the people who were watching this on live television, to where people aren't going to think you're cool when they see you out in public. They're gonna think you're a total fucking jerk. And they'll, you know, spread rumors to all of their friends when they talk to them about, you know, you doing what you did, like telling their friends about it, and their friends telling their friends about it, and their friends telling their friends about it, and parents telling, you know, their friends' parents about it, and those parents telling their friends' parents about it, and etc. It's gonna keep going on and on and on and on and on. It's never gonna stop. So, you know, there's no going back. You're basically stuck with, you know, people remembering you for this and talking a lot about it to you for the rest of your life, and never stop talking to you about it whenever they see you in person. You're basically gonna have to live with it forever. There's nothing you can do to stop it, pretty much. You know, other than that, you know, I don't give a fuck about the Oscars, period. Since, you know, they're always throwing political bullshit into the Oscars when fucking political shit has absolutely nothing to do with the Oscars. Those are two different things. You know, seriously, the Oscars is a show where an actor, you know, wins their award for best actor in a movie that they did, where they worked really hard to earn it, and talk about how hard they worked to earn the Oscar after so many years of them wanting to win it. So don't be fucking throwing political bullshit into this shit. Keep it out of the Oscars. You know, this is definitely why the ratings for the Oscars are going down, due to them always having to focus on political bullshit, more than an actor receiving their award for Best Actor in a movie and talking about how hard they worked to earn it. So, really, you know, people, they didn't watch the Oscars to hear about this shit. They watched it to see their favorite actor or whatever win their award for Best Actor. and a movie that they really did good in and really did try the best they could to do good enough to win a award for it. So if you're going to be political, then I suggest you make a separate TV show to have all that political bullshit be in there instead of the Oscars, for fucking Pete's sakes. Yeah. Whether you think this is staged or not, some people think it's staged, where Will Smith, just went up on stage and bitch slapped Chris Rock as a political stunt. But still, it didn't benefit Will in any way. How positivity or how did it benefit him in any way? If you think it did, then give me a lot of proof and explain why. Seriously, it didn't accomplish nothing by bitch slapping Chris Rock. When they tell a joke like that and you just go up on stage or wherever they're doing the joke at and bitch slap them for it, they're still going to tell jokes about other people that, they know about that They're not going to stop just because you bitch slap them. There's nothing you can do to make them stop. They're not going to listen to you and, be scared of you and stop doing it all over your frets or you slapping them. They're still going to continue to do it. So deal with it, to people who can't take jokes, really. All this actually did was ruin Will Smith's moment for his Oscar win for Best Actor in King Richard, where people will be happy for him and them saying, "Congratulations, Will Smith, you just won your Oscar for the first time since you've been wanting to win it for so long, ever since you started doing movies and you tried your best to be good in all of your movies to, win a award like this, and you finally managed to get your award." No, people aren't going to care about that. What they're mostly going to focus on and, not focus on is him winning his award and be more focused on him bitch slapping Chris Rock. Really. But I don't think it wasn't staged, though. I'm not really subscribing to that theory of it being staged. I'm more, subscribe to it being real, since a lot of people in this world are crazy these days, like Will Smith, where he bitch slapped Chris Rock all over a joke about his wife. Really, if this actually is real, Will Smith, he seriously needs to chill out and make him a more calm person who can take jokes and not get all worked up all over it and kick someone's ass all over a certain joke that they made about his wife that aren't even causing any harm. Like, going and getting a therapist to talk to him about this kind of stuff to make him, feel better and, be more positive about these jokes and not lose his temper all over it and beat the shit out of someone. Really. I don't know if it was, his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, or his son, who are no, different than him. They probably made him crazy. They probably brainwashed him to stand up for him whenever someone tells a joke like that on them, like Chris Rock, to, beat their ass, to get them to never tell jokes about them again when they should just take the joke like any other person would and not take offense to it. When there's nothing bad about the joke, it's just a normal joke that people would tell any other day, that people should just go with the flow on and laugh like what other people would do. Yeah. Honestly, if Jada is making Will Smith crazy, then he needs to divorce his fucking wife. I don't even get why he's still with his wife in the first place. She's no different. She's a fucking whore. She cheated on Will Smith and didn't, still, be attracted to Will Smith and stay together with him and not cheat. No, fucking shit. What she actually did was she found other men out there who she thought were more attractive and better than Will Smith, and she slept with them. So why would Will Smith slap Chris Rock all over him making a joke about his wife? Why don't you, Will Smith, beat the fuck out of those men who she sweat? Can't speak. Seriously, Will Smith, instead of slapping someone for making a joke about your wife, how about, why don't you beat the fuck out of those men who slept with your wife? Since they took her away from you and made them have more of a relationship with you and make them her new boyfriend or whatever, the guy after guy after guy after guy she slept with. And, seems like she's divorcing you. Pretty much cheating, whatever. I don't get why Will Smith would have stood up for her. She fucking cheated on him and he doesn't even care. He doesn't focus on that. He still loves her no matter what when it doesn't work that way, Whenever a wife or husband, cheat on, you know, their wife or husband with someone else, wanting to marry a different person and divorce their previous wife or husband, they normally get divorced. But for some reason, Will Smith is still, in a relationship with her. So why would you care if he made a joke about her? If I had a wife who divorced me and, started sleeping with other guys besides me and thinking about divorcing me and having one of those guys be her new boyfriend, I wouldn't give a fuck. I would actually laugh at the joke since she deserved it for, cheating on me when she should have not did that. She should have stayed with me and had a relationship with me. There would be no point in getting married with a woman if she would do shit like that. If you're going to get married with her, you have to make sure she's not going to cheat and y'all are going to, stay as husband and wife and still love each other a lot and not go out and find another girl or guy to, have a relationship with and, y'all having to separate and your boyfriend or girlfriend leaving you and going with someone else. Seriously. So I thought Will Smith should have not cared. You know, he was probably fine with her doing that and him thinking that she doesn't love him anymore and loves other guys who she thought was better than him. And more attractive than him or whatever, causing her to kind of leave him and start having a new boyfriend. You know, and still being in a unhealthy relationship with her and standing up to her, causing him to go upstage and smack Chris Rock in the face. Seriously. If I had a wife who did all that shit, I wouldn't fucking stand up for her. Fuck that. I would just say, fuck that slut. I don't give a shit if that guy is making a joke about her for the way she treated me by cheating on me when she wasn't supposed to, you know? Then there was no point of getting married anyway. You know? You chose that husband or wife, so y'all should stay together and love each other a lot and treat each other with respect and not go out and find a better husband, not husband, but boyfriend or girlfriend who you think is more attractive than your actual wife who you're married to, and same with your husband, and y'all get married and leave your previous one when y'all need to stay together. You know, that's a good way to have a good relationship. Yeah. You know, really, Chris Rock is a comedian. You know, he always does comedy like that and always has ever since he first, you know, became a comedian. So, you know, people should already know what, you know, type of comedy Chris Rock does. But if they're still living under a rock and they don't know what type of comedy he does, then they should find someone who knows Chris Rock very well and knows what type of comedy he does to explain to him like what type of comedy he does, like doing comedy like if he sees someone who looks like a certain character in a movie and he cracks a joke about them, like saying, can't wait for the sequel to this movie. And, you know, if they're there at the Oscars with everyone and Chris Rock is up on stage, you know, and he tells a joke on him or her, like saying, can't wait to see the sequel to this movie. If they look like the main character of that movie, then he could crack a joke about wanting to see a sequel to that movie. So, really, you know, not only that, you know, I heard, you know, Will Smith started off like that too. You know, it was way back in the day, like before he did his Fresh Prince of Bel Air TV show, where he would crack jokes like that. So if that's the case, that Will Smith used to crack jokes like that, excuse me, I burped, then that's really hypocritical. Since, you know, he used to tell jokes like that back then, but now he can't take jokes since, you know, his wife Jada or whatever, she was offended by the joke and wasn't laughing. She was just quiet when that happened. and didn't do nothing about it. And Will Smith got that from his wife and was probably thinking in his head once he saw the look on Jada's face to know that she didn't like the joke. He was probably thinking that, oh fuck, Chris Rock is up on stage making a joke about my wife. I better go up there and do something about it. And so instead of sitting in his seat, instead of staying in his seat and taking the joke like everyone else there was, he decided to just lose his temper and just resort to violence by, going up on stage and bitch slapping Chris Rock. When a better thing that Will Smith could have done was wait until the Oscars pause for the commercial breaks. And so once the Oscars would pause to show commercials, he could have went backstage, like if it's something private that only needs to be kept, between the both of them, and that the audience there doesn't need to know. They could have went backstage, and Will Smith could have, talked to Chris Rock about it and explained to him that his wife has a certain condition that caused her to shave her head bald, and could be, or if, someone he knew had a certain disease that's not meant to be made fun of, and that people should care if they have that type of, disease, and pray for him to get better. And that, he shouldn't have joked about the certain type of condition she has. So, Chris Rock, he could have understood to not joke about something like that, to, not hurt her feelings or whatever. But no, Will Smith, he didn't even think about that. He just decided to get up out of his seat without even thinking about what else he could do to talk to Chris Rock about it, and lose his temper, also losing his mind, and just going up there and slapping Chris Rock. Really, Will Smith needs to learn how to take a joke, like that. If it's a joke like that about his wife, there's nothing bad about it. It's just a normal joke that's made for people to laugh at and have a good time. So if you're there and everyone else, is laughing, then you need to get a grip, Will Smith, and just go with the flow and laugh like everyone else is. Seriously. I give all of my respect to, Chris Rock. Since, once he got bitch slapped by Will Smith, he took it like a man and didn't press charges against Will Smith, even though that was assault on live television. Chris Rock actually stood his ground, and handled it well. And just, went back to presenting the best documentary like he was doing like seconds before that incident happened, and didn't just stand up there and whine about it like a little kid, like, hey, I'm in pain, help me. He actually just, wanted to let it go, forget about it, and not worry about it anymore. And just, move on and not let it get to him. That makes Chris Rock more of can't speak. That makes Chris Rock more of a man than Will Smith. Yeah, and I'm also even surprised Chris Rock did not do anything back to Will Smith and just let him get away with it. Which, yeah, I still give respect to Chris Rock for that too. But, really, if I was a comedian, sorry, can't talk well, and I told a joke like that when I'm not even trying to hurt the person's feelings or, talk shit about, their condition that's not meant to be made fun of, and that is really sad that I should, hope and pray that they will feel better. I would never joke about shit like that. I am a nice person, and whenever someone I know who has a certain condition where they're in a lot of pain and might die from, then yeah, you should never joke about stuff like that. I do hope and pray they get better and support them as much as I can and give them some, you know, presence to, you know, spend as much time with them or respect them
as much as I can
before they lose their lives. But, if someone who was there with the rest of the audience didn't like, the joke for whatever reason and got offended by it and got up out of their seat and came up on stage and bitch slapped me, guess what? I wouldn't tolerate that. I wouldn't just stand there and take it and not do anything back and just let them get away with it. I would stand up for myself and I would just bitch slap them back. No matter how tall they are, like, 7 feet, which I'm not short myself. I'm like, 6'2" or 6'3". And, Will Smith, he's taller than Chris Rock, and Chris Rock is shorter than him. Chris Rock is like 5'10", and Will Smith is like 6'2". So instead of Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, he should have just, slapped someone who took his wife away from him, who was like the same height as him, like 6'2" or 6'1", whatever. Yeah. You know, I mean, people do take jokes in different ways, but Will Smith seriously needs to take a joke like that. There was nothing, hurtful about that joke. It was also not causing any harm. It was just a joke saying, can't wait for the sequel to that movie. It wasn't insulting her condition and wishing for someone to die. It was just a normal joke that was made up, for laughs. So seriously, Will Smith, you need to chill out and just go with it like everyone else is. And, actually take jokes. By bitch slapping Chris Rock, all you did was just, make him more popular to where everyone who was there at the Oscars who saw him get bitch slapped by you, and also the people who were watching this shit happen on the Oscars on TV at home, like if they were in the same, state Chris Rock is in and they saw him in person, they would look up to him and say, "Hey, Chris Rock," and they would probably even pay him. He could, possibly make money off of this incident due to what happened to him by getting, bitch slapped by Will Smith. Yeah. And as for Will Smith, people, they're probably not going to hate him. I mean, he will still make money, but they're probably going to lose respect for him due to what he did. Yeah, really, people in Hollywood these days are just losing their fucking minds. And which, if that's happening to them, then I say they should just retire from acting and just settle down, They already have a shitload of money as it is, they have millions. So, if they're gonna lose their minds like this and not take jokes and beat a person's ass up all over a joke that they thought was offensive when it really wasn't, it was a harmless joke, and thinking that they're the kings, then all of these other comedians who tell jokes about them that could get them offended and go up on stage and bitch slap them, then they need to retire from acting and just, enjoy the rest of their life as they can before it's too late. Yeah, really. What if Eddie Murphy, did that? Would Will Smith do the same thing to him? Go up on stage and bitch slap him? And hell, even Richard Pryor, if he was still alive today and Richard Pryor did that, you know how raw and real Richard Pryor was. He was, also dirty too. So he was a raw and real comedian or whatever who did, black comedy. So if Richard Pryor did something like that, it would have probably been different, or pretty much the same actually. Not really different if he, was still alive. But, if he told a joke like that, would Will Smith go up on stage and bitch slap him for that? Seriously. People need to learn how to take jokes and not lose their temper all over a certain joke that they told about them and go up and bitch slap them or even kick their ass all over it and just roll with it like how other people would, laugh at the joke and have fun with them. Yeah. Really, what Will Smith did at the Oscars last night was so uncalled for, and he should have never did it in the first place. Just because, he thought he shouldn't laugh due to the look on Jada's face. Her not finding the joke funny, her hating it and not liking it. And her finding it to be insulting to her. And so Will Smith just had to take her side and go up on stage and start violence with Chris Rock. But I still do give a lot of credit to, Chris Rock, though. Not only for, not pressing charges against Will Smith. And, just deciding to, drop the subject about the incident. He also didn't, fist fight with Will Smith on stage, causing both of them to beat the ever living shit out of each other to where they could knock their teeth out, causing both of them to end up in the hospital. Chris Rock, he was actually an a, an adult about it and didn't just stand up there and complain about it. And tried to, hurt Will Smith back. He just, moved on from it and just decided to just not focus on it anymore and just, put it behind himself. So yeah, I give credit to Chris Rock for that. But as for Will Smith, I still like Will Smith a little bit. But here's the thing, I have lost a lot of respect for Will Smith, as a person. But, not as an actor though. Will Smith, he is an awesome actor and also a talented actor. I pretty much like, most of his movies, like, Independence Day, the Men in Black movies, Enemy of the State, Ali, which other ones? I, Robot, The Pursuit of Happiness, I Am Legend, etc. And which, speaking of the not The Pursuit of Happiness next, I'll get to that one next, but Ali and The Pursuit of Happiness, instead of Will Smith, winning an Oscar for King Richard, I thought, he should have won an Oscar for both, Ali and The Pursuit of Happiness, since those are two dramatic movies right there where Will Smith, did a much better performance, in my opinion, than he did in King Richard. In which, King Richard, I still didn't mind. He did okay in that movie. But, he did a lot better in those two movies that I just mentioned than King Richard, though. King Richard, his performance in that movie was just fine to me. It wasn't, great or anything. But instead of winning an Oscar for those two movies, he won an Oscar for, King Richard, which that's fine, I don't really care. I'm not gonna sit there and make a big deal about it, They win Oscars for whatever movie. And, basically after the incident, well, not really after the incident, but once, Will Smith was still kind of pissed off after what he did to Chris Rock. Denzel Washington and Tyler Perry. Denzel Washington, was trying to get the man to calm down. In which, I do like Denzel Washington. He's another excellent actor. He actually said some calm words to Will Smith, which I have nothing against him for, doing that. I kind of thought it was the right thing to do, even though, some of them started to crack, though. Yeah, the joke that Chris Rock, cracked about Jada Pinkett Smith, he was referring to, that one movie called G.I. Jane. Do any of y'all remember that movie? Or have y'all even seen it before? As for me, I have seen that movie years ago. I don't even remember the year. It's been so long. And I haven't seen that movie ever since then. And so one of these days I am going to have to rewatch, that movie to see what I think of it now. But G.I. Jane, the main character in that movie, she was a woman who fought in the army and she got a buzz cut, she got shaved bald due to how much of a tough, woman she was. And basically, Jada, she looked somewhat similar to the main character in that movie, is what, made Chris Rock, crack a joke like that. And that joke, it wasn't meant to insult her or offend her or hurt, her feelings. He was just trying to have fun with her and get her to laugh. Same with everyone else. But Will Smith, on the other hand, he really needs to man up and take a joke like everyone else would, like that. And not blow his gasket all over a joke when it was just a joke. I don't get what was so bad about it. If people think jokes like that are bad, then please explain to me with a lot of detail on why they're bad. You can't just say that the jokes are bad. That's laziness. And that's kindergarten right there. If you don't like the joke, at least explain to me why you don't like it with a lot of detail. And being, more specific about it, then I'll understand and feel you on that. All right? And also, am I going to stop watching Will Smith's movies now since this incident happened? Honestly, I don't know if I will, watch his movies or not. That's going to be a really hard thing for me to let go. I grew up with his movies. I've always been a fan of Will Smith ever since I saw, the Men in Black movies, the first, movies, excuse me, I burped, I've seen from him. All over just one incident. Once one incident like this happens, when it's a favorite actor who you grew up with and always enjoyed his or hers movies and have always, been a big fan of the actor, and they do something violent like this, then, you don't know whether you should just keep on watching their movies or stop watching their movies. Yeah. So, I'm between both right now if I should watch more of Will Smith's movies or if I should stop watching his movies and never watch his movies again. I'll have to decide on what I should do like later on into the year when I think about it. But yeah, that's about all I have left to say. This is, my video. And I hope, all of you enjoyed it. I know it is kind of a bad video since I'm kind of having trouble speaking in this video. Like a couple of parts into this video, I didn't really pronounce, Jada Pinkett Smith's name right. And I didn't even notice that I mispronounced, her name while I was, mentioning her name like in some of the other clips earlier into the video before I put them all together on this one video editor called Perfect Video. And I didn't realize I did that until after, I got done with some of those clips and watched them and realized that I mispronounced her name, which I am sorry for that. But, later on into the video, will clearly the clips since this will be an entire video. I'm gonna put all the clips together to make it a whole video where it'll show each clip in order like an entire video. But yeah, see you all later. Goodbye and have a good one, all of you.